We need some 3 parts on this, man.
Yes, sir.
I can't carry
My
this
boys
shit.
at
Chorus, come on, line up. Yo, yo. I need y'all 3-part harmony on this. I don't know how you can work it out, but work it out. Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is it proud of the man to gain the world and lose your soul? Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is it proud of the man to gain the world and lose your soul?
Into the room, you feel a certain doom. You might lose your hearing from the sonic boom. Out of the mouth is a sword and I'm taking you out. You try to stop me and I'm faking you out. Man, I wish I had an apprentice to build this work. Collaborate on synthesis. And I hope you remember this. Keep your enemy near to you. Far away, keep those that are dear to you. I hate beer, but I used to drink the brew. Heavily until the little habit turned deadly. I used to have a bud every day and all week. Intoxicated to the point where I couldn't hardly speak. So do the knowledge, that means hold your head. Let the past stay dead and keep a level head. And don't be misled. Remember most of what I said. I'm hot like times in a rock, but you got us hot from working on the block.
By the end of the night, how deep this music is. What is it proud of the man to gain the world and lose your soul? Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is it proud of the man to gain the world and lose your soul?
Mike's handed, I'm speaking candid. Understand this is the way that the masses demand it. I have wisdom, but God planned it. General media banned it. I blow flows on beaches and make you wonder where the sand went. The Taliban spent more times in design to destroy cities. My rhymes inspire minds. I'm known as Big Papa, but I ain't your daddy yet. But I could be your bro if you could get the concept. There'd be many that stand whenever I rip, but it's devastation whenever I rip. I spit flows that hit like mouth on tits, straight legit. You fake rappers need to understand that felonies, gunfights and drugs don't make a true MC. And I will do more than talk this talk. I will defiantly walk this walk. There's no need to spaz. Your nose bleeding while I'm beating your ass. You in the cesspool.
Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is it proud of the man to gain the world and lose your soul? Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is it proud?
Ancient Chinese secret now. Yes. Did you not pay attention in your history class? Partner, wake up.
Yes, sir.
Partner, wake up.
Yes, sir.
Partner, wake up, son. It is written that there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new. And that the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So take your position. Don't you know you are part of that scripture, yo? Yo, you've been getting in the way and what you knock you down. Yes, but we gon' bring the light, yeah. A Max B production, baby. You know what it is. Listen, I'm known to tell you to fight back. There's no need to sell crack just to live fat. Why don't black superstars simply give back when they know it's a struggle just to live black? Can you picture that, Mr. Aristocrat? I'm coming from the bottom, rising to the top. And conscious is the tone on the CDs I drop. I won't flip-flop like a black bass, but I will put a message in the song before I hook your ass. See, we first class living, worse than slaves of the earlier days. And we adapted the ways of the slave master. I stand upon it, the very rock which put your people in bondage just to get 100. The big face kind, and it don't matter if it's making people lose their freaking mind. That's why I'm speaking mine, hopefully they change yours. To pull you out of these streets from these drugs and strange whores. Huh.
Is anybody there? Is there love out there? Is anybody there? Is there love out there?
It's like we died inside.
no longer having pride. We're still for rides, a new skill to hide. And like the red tide, go and get our heads dyed. Rebel against the laws in the cities we reside. Sleep the circumstance, though our eyes open wide. Fail to coexist, let alone coincide. Eat chicken many ways, but prefer it fried. Like your man on death row when his relatives cried. It's death a mistake because somebody lied. And we can only pray that Christ is by his side. Convicted on the statement implied with no proof. Now will the warden cry that he killed another youth? I truly doubt it, that's why we stay in the booth. Just cause it ain't enough, we should demand and show proof. And if they overlook our voices, then we raise the roof. Which one of y'all dudes?
It's a love out there.
People being that I feel like I'm a slave, maybe slave, man. You made a serious mistake, slave. What you handle me, homie? Slave to the system. Yeah, sound like a winner right there. Come on. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free.
Hold up a minute, fam, let me ask you this. Did your last promotion offer you an ass to kiss? Hashtag for this. I know a better way and many honestly wonder why you bastard shit. Your heart's got to be right to make it from here. For animosity and hate, you can place it here. No time for pity, we partying all the way. No time to be the victim, we got a call to take. Keep it square and watch God fall the fake. A linebacker reads well before they call the play. Hoping you always say, hoping we always pray. Invest a little bit of time in a taller day. Forget the ball and play. We got stakes in Israel with much more beef than the Shaw can say. Now that's the scholar's way. No lust for the cause of throwbacks. In fact, give them all away.
A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free.
Inside my circles are deep bows and little Urkels and Nino Brown types with no remorse if they hurt you. Many out to take you, plotting schemes for your paycheck. And no, I'm not a snitch just because I come and say that. Look, dude, I don't play that. When my boy G-Lo was killed, you know you saw me on the news. If you choose to look way back, so stay back. I'm militant like Osama, intelligent like Obama. And you can ask your mama, no need to wonder. I'm like the 10th one under the commission of the author of life. When I was younger, I would do what a thug would tend to do. And if you got the last lick, quickly remember you. Our lives change, but still things remain the same. Slave masters got these brothers' brains and chains. Yo, I'm feeling your pain. Down and out in life, saying your prayers, but not seeing the change. We in the sin age.
A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free. A slave to the system, then I broke free. Although I may not be with, I wanna see my folk free.
Alright. Yo kid, you can take my advice and dismiss the current hit list. These cats are getting fat from facades and illusions, causing grief and confusion. God knows the rap game need a new son. Here I am, here Lord you can use me. Please don't let the industry abuse me, and let the anointed choose me. And the sheep that's walking to sleep but rise that's groovy. I'm taking strong stands and they can't move me. I'm armed with the verbal Uzi. I'm on my good foot and watching my step, quiet as kept. If you gamble, place your bets, for God is with me. And there's no way to win playing the odds against me. Most of these cats have money, but their soul is empty. And they guilty as the one who stole Kunta Kinte. 1 million man gathered won't change a thing. If we only choose to hate a slang or gang bang, we will never see a change.
Are you tired of this rap music? Are you tired of this whack music? The good forward track music.
Yeah.
Suggest you buy the next music. It's much more than black music. Are you tired of this rap music?
I know you are. Be real with me. Hold on for the second verse. Can you hear me now? Look, it should be crystal clear. Can you hear me now? It's like I'm right in your ear. Can you hear me now? I have a real important question. Can you hear me now? Get your pen as I wreck it. I'm making moves, Blackberry kept close. It's a hustle and slang dope tracks on both coasts. In the Gulf of Mexico, they all know. And yo, bro, they feeling the pulse and they begging for more. Perceived as dirty, although I'm clean as a whistle. Precise flows target your heart like missiles. And when I hit the mark, I blow you out of the dark. Whether you're straight as an arrow or you're prone to spark. How could you think things for us gonna ever get right when they only seem less in a negative light? Just to change things, I'm using all of my life. It's all life throughout the day and night. If you're a crackhead, show me who you basing with. These type of actions don't fiction the relationship. Maybe it's deep depression that you're dealing with, causing you to still off into the illness fit. This time around, there's a change of plans. This time around, it's shameful man. This time around, we'll be keeping it tight. No longer seeing each other in a negative light. And if the president's right, I would support the cause. But he's not. If he's obviously breaking God's laws, ain't no man perfect. We all have flaws. But here's a few words of wisdom for all of y'all.
Are you tired of this rap music? Are you tired of this whack music? The good forward track music. I suggest you buy the next music. It's much more than black music. Are you tired of this rap music? Are you tired of this white music? This good forward track music. I suggest you buy the
You wanna
next
go outside? It
music.
just rained. It's gonna rain again. I'm gonna let you outside. I'm gonna close the door and leave you out there. Look, man, I'm about to roll fat blunt, and you was kind of hyper, so you need to relax. Relax. Oh shit. Hey Ganja, how you like it, boy? That's that real, no chemicals, that real tobacco. I got another bag upstairs, bruh. It's that real tobacco. So I'm gonna roll this with this in one of these. The other one's got alcohol. I don't want nothing to do with no damn alcohol. So my lady get here and we can have a glass of wine, one with for me, then I'll be alright. But other than that, I was gonna roll it here, but I don't want to do that. I'll wait until after I'm done. Because as you know, this one's worse than the purple one, bro.
Take the reading for fun instead of gold. For finally meeting the one.
One puff and I'm like this. I got the internet on because I watch documentaries. See, internet's on. Damn, why is this thing leaning like that? It's like it's drunk or something. See? And I got my tires. It rained and I sprayed my tires like an idiot. I went out there and wiped my tires down and everything before it rained, right? I'm wiping them, man, you know. Got the brush, scrubbing. So I go and spray it up, shine it. Cause I ain't had no hat on. What the hell? I'm only like 4 steps away. I don't know what's coming down. Okay. I was very active when I did stand-up comedy. So I like to see idiots laugh.
And then plot a decree about it. And if they fail to produce the truth, I hope you like you the truth. We need to see the truth, blind faith for most.
Leave the lost to a boat to get ready to float, or find a knife at your throat. Can you not see these actions lead the blind into a large sea of rough traction and deep to tell
If you listen to it, hit the goddamn heart and share it. Even though it's from 2015, it don't matter. It's funny how I got everything right to there, and now they sending me stuff going over to Spotify. What are y'all doing? Them Black Hawks been flying like a mofo. I didn't go to the range today, so. Oh, T and Ganja, when you come here, I hope you're all ready. I mean, you know, it's just, I ain't gonna hold back on you either. Oh, I'm even pull out the 6-shooter and show you how to feather. Pop, 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 pop. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna pull out the 45 Colt. That's just a little, I need the leather and I don't have that. But with the 22, it's just, as long as your hands got a little hardness, you just hit it. Pop, 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 pop. Holding the trigger down. We're gonna have some fun. But that's with me getting ready to get rid of all this shit. They keep coming, it's an open house today. I said, if you don't get the fuck away from my door. And I ain't mean, y'all. I said, you know, I'm old school. I said, didn't I tell you I'll let you know? Now I hope you don't come. Oh, no, I'm coming. You selling that TV? I was like, yeah, I'm selling it for $150, $200. Matter of fact, I might sell it for more. They was like this. Okay.
And I pray I'm not found hanging out on the tree. What's the deal with this guy? He got the devil in his eye. I'ma stand my ground and I am not gonna.
I said, you can go to Walmart and get one of these Chinese things that made that only last 2 years. You're gonna spend $200-300 now. Go get one of them. And the Sanyo surround sound? Oh no, you're gonna give me, you're gonna drop 500. I don't give a damn if I had it for 8 years. You're gonna drop 500 or get the stepper. Everything is increased in price. How did Orlando Brown retarded ass say? I'm gonna give him that oosh osquash. Okay. Let me stop. What is that oosh osquash? That don't even sound right. I think he feel like sleeping with my boy Saturday. We still?
We had a lot of great kids from these drinking beer.
Yeah, look, damn, drink the beer.
Oh my God, this crazy dude shake, but I'm just trying to get home to make me bust your bucket before long. He and I was straight tussling. He has the upper hand.
Woo, let me stand that.
And that got me packing. Yo, I need it in my hand. And who the hell are you? You go questioning me.
That sound like the Cold Crush, don't it? Back in the days, when I used to be hitting that up rock. Go down, hit the floor.
So if you're looking for a fight, I guess you got one tonight. All I'm trying to do is live.
Hit that head glide, pop into some windmills, start going airborne, shoulder to shoulder. You would think with all the breakdancing, my shoulders would be beat up. Somebody said, when you used to breakdance, you think that's how you got your injuries? I was breakdancing in the military on their clock, and they loved it. So I guess you gotta pay me for that? Come on, they shut up real quick.
And my music, and a lot of this music, it's only talking about the suppressed rising. I mean, the oppressed rising up against the oppressor.
the oppressed.
That's what my music's about. The oppressed rising up against the oppressor. So the only people that's scared are the oppressors. The only people who can get any harm coming to them are those who oppress. Simple as that.
What up, cuh? Alright, we ain't advocating no violence here. Isn't it funny every time y'all see something, you hear something that says, the USA is giving arms to Israel to fight and kill in Ukraine. No, we are not. America, the United States of America, it's not, it's of America. It is not America. No, he is not. That's these fake politicians. Let's get it right. Y'all need to say these things right. Most majority of people here don't want what's going on. Only a bunch of idiots who want to be us, who don't know no better, who just been, orphans and, like I say, man, there's different shades of brown. There's no such thing as white and black. I don't care what anybody says. Now, there are some people who got a lot of chlorophyll in the system where they look blue-black, but it's not black at all. It's just more of the capillaries are more predominant as far as the sun, and it exudes because genetics, good genetics, the way actually everybody should actually literally be. And like I said, thank you, Kira Meal. That was a fabulous video 2 or 3 hours ago. Thank you. People are actually, as I said, all them people in Europe and all them things running around playing idiots, a lot of them are lost pretenders who don't know who they are and don't know their truth. That's like when I speak about the Anu people. They look just like Australians and many other people in the Louisiana and the Mississippis and South America who are murdered. The original people of these lands. And as we are as well. Two distinct people. And we had light-skinned brothers because we were able to create or make them. Now, I would like to see somebody come and challenge me on that. Because, of course, I got so many tabs open and some medical books that I don't read here because you don't want to hear that boring stuff. That will hopefully break it down with all these dummies running around the world fighting and killing one another and all that. Or warlike people. What does it say in the Tanakh? I don't like speaking in the King James because Satan didn't exist until these idiots created that rabbinical and stole our narrative and started painting and making these fictional things because there was no Satan before the New Testament. Oh, y'all didn't know that? Oh. Y'all know where the word Satan's from? Hasatan. Do you know how Satan is from? What it means? No, literally, do you know what it means? It's an order. It's a friggin' order. But I have no point in this fight or debacle. I'm not here to stop nothing. But if you don't remember Revelations, what is it, 3:9 or 9:3 or something like that? Revelations is significant to not the first, which is hidden, but the second Genesis. How many of you know about the megaliths in Japan? All over. Gengo Island and all those places. I'm talking about structures that rival. I mean, they always want to call that place Egypt, and they're so full of excrement. You know who's doing that? The Gujars. South America, Machu Picchu and all that. Here in America, where they destroyed, there's still pictures showing you some of these monolithic structures out by way of Texas, to which didn't exist, but Louisiana. And y'all just need to go and find the pictures. Okay? So that way, more and more you'll start realizing the least said the best. Just research the stuff and further increase your research. JD, you asked me a question, right, beloved? Brother, just deposit whatever you can, brother. I'm not looking to get rich off of anybody. Yet these books right here, let me show you. I was reading these Liberties and Paradise, these Liberty books and stuff. Friggin' phenomenal, man. So Flatlanders. I have these 4 books and I have one more upstairs. I thought it was 6. One more. Now there's 2 to 3 more books that I buy out of here. So whatever you donate and anybody else donates from there with that that's in there, I'm gonna order those 3, and it's all the books that go along with Flatlanders. Now I actually got a better one upstairs because I ordered a second one to have a good looking one. This one will be the one that everybody can put their little peanut butter and greasy fingers on and read. Children and whoever, right? These are the 4 books plus the other one upstairs that make up the 5. I was reading that. So yes, I periodically will pick a book up and just read it. Even if I've already read it. You know what I mean? So when I'm reading this, okay, and this is going to mess y'all. I can read this alone. For those who went back and watched my videos know what I'm talking about. And I said it was impromptu, I did. I said it is important. And this is by Eric, all right, Dubé. And you need to really, really purchase this book, people. So when I was going through this, and we were getting into the Saturnina and all that, and the Christ fluid and everything, and the yoga and blah, 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 which you must be mindful and be careful of because they don't even understand yoga because it wasn't meant for the individuals who call themselves, what they say, they call themselves East Indians or whatever. That's not what they are. So in the bottom, when you really get deep into this book, all right, and in certain places, it will always put you in direction to a certain book, whether it's based on the earth or the shape or whatever. And these books are throughout here. There's just plenty of them. Wow. even the origin of NASA and what I told y'all as far as the Yiddish word nasab, which means to deceive. For they are the synagogue of Satan, Hasatan, right? Okay. GPS, you know, the sister created that. Who created calculations to the moon? And they had to eradicate her narrative because they needed to push it farther because it showed it was right up above us. Oh, y'all didn't research that either? My apologies. I didn't mean to break it like that. So anyway, in the first part of this book, it's going to be expressing a whole lot of things. It just breaks down a whole lot of stuff. And for those who listened to me and watched and paid attention to what I was saying, you will have a deeper understanding. They know the earth is flat. Shut it down. And you see who he put in there, right? Okay. And then we have the best way to control the opposition is to lead it ourselves. Vladimir Ilyich Lenin. Vladimir Lenin. Okay? But in here, when you get past all the ancient polar mythologies and everything, and it breaks it down to a point that's more understanding, then you can go exploring, like John Phillips, when he talks about exploring the book of Acts, you know, in 402, we can go into that. Ezekiel, everything in here. All right, Genesis, and the breakdown and literally give you a better interpretation with a clearer understanding that you can go off from there and start, you know, reading things for yourselves. Now, one of the books, Richard L. Thompson's The Cosmology of the Bhagavata Purana, I didn't get that, okay? And so that's one of the books that I have to get. Right here I have Paradise Found, Ark of Home, and the Vedas. I have the Book of Earths, all right, and the Worlds Beyond the Poles. This is all in here, but the first 2 or 3 books I did not order, and those are the ones that I will order. So again, we have the Cosmology of the Bhagavata Purana, okay? And I didn't highlight them because I don't want to highlight anything in this book. I just did pen markings. Where's the one with the Germanic? There's another book that I want to get. The Cradle of the Human Race at the North Pole by Dr. Williams. Well, actually, there's several, but I believe the 3 more that I want to purchase are more, because they're mentioned a few times compared to some that are only mentioned once. And those I might just get on my own just to have, and I didn't order them in the 40-something books that I ordered. That's just me. Paradise Found, I have that right here, which is by Dr. William Warren, which is excellent because it's all over. You know, it tells you what page you go to, 249, 137, blah, 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 and you just go to it and you read it, and it's phenomenal, okay? The Cradle of the Human Race at the North Pole, that is another one. It's like I said, there's maybe 12 books in whole, but I've got 5. One upstairs might be the other one. No, it's not. And then I just want to order 2 to 3 more, and that way. But we're going to do Jamil Shamsi's, and I got to do that with Baby Girl Slaughter. I got to talk to her. I'm just being to myself right now, so that way we can go ahead. And I like to break things down because a lot of stuff that he shared, I've already, as far as documentation, I've been well versed in many of it. And I just love how he came through, how he came over. When you start getting the genealogy, how it plays out, and what serves what and what purpose. And there's nobody that can debunk his book. That's why I said if you purchase it, if you didn't purchase it, you're a bum. But if you purchase it, go ahead and make it your business to give a review. And I mean, honestly, read it. Take your time. Read it twice if you have to. It's not as much reading as you think, but it's quite authentic. I mean, it's very meaningful. And you won't see no university fake-ass professor or anybody pull it up because they like the fact that we got a lot of dummies running around calling themselves black and African-American. I look at some of these niggas because of hip-hop, the betrayal of those motherfuckers. When you have those, you can see who got blacklisted, right? Who have been telling you. Lord Jamal, Ice Cube. Come on, y'all. And he always knew it. All right? But when you're rolling to make $1 and you're young, you kind of grabbed it and script it in. And you don't want to shake too many, ruffle the feathers, as they say, which is plumage on a damn dress. I don't know why men say it, but anyway, it is what it is. Oh, yeah, ruffle the feathers is plumage on the dress, y'all. Oh, I forgot the 70s, Yogi Bear. No, nigga, we weren't supposed to be wearing nothing like that. That was the de-emasculation of the man, but you wasn't aware of that. Oh, okay. I just want to let you know. A little tea. But we're going to get into reading, okay? We're going to start off with 100 Years of Legend. We're only going to read 1, maybe 2. And then we're going to go into that Margaret Fanger thing. And then we're going to get into the Behold the Pale Horse. We have about 3 to read in there. Then we're going to jump over and exposing expositions. And then, you know, well, I get to put on a little vaudeville act. Heaven Bearers, Age of Deception. All right? So let me shout out who's up in here. Tariq, Jay Davis. What's going on? Much love, much love. Snoo. Hey, She's the only one get that. Don't y'all even try. All right. On some real love you too. What's going on? So as that preview, more editions. Vladimir Ilyich was a Russian revolutionary and communist politician, the main leader of the October Revolution. Yes, he was, and he was a bastard who was part of the Gujars. Megaliths in Japan look like. Thank you, honey. That's right. Marcus Williams, what's up, beloved? DJ lithographs. Talk about it, brother. Megaliths. Mac 12. It's good to have y'all up in here. Ganj, what's going on, beloved? Max B, I had to jam it out, brother. Oh, I'm playing Total Z's, but I had to check what's sampled from other things because they wanted to nitpick, and they made a mistake because that's not the sample. It might sound like it, but it's not the same. That's why I like when I go and I play a song, they give it to me, I screenshot it. Let me pull this song up. No, man, there's 1,000 different things, and this is what these fake Jews do. Fake ass, and then they little puppets who don't know no better, thinking that because there was a movie, and it was in a time, it wasn't a stand, but it was long ago. It was kind of black and white, where the people who were saying the righteous things and the right things were brought into this place, and they were being questioned with tall pews and things like that by this one individual. And the Messiah, this Messiah of the world who was destroying and murdering the oppositions, and having the people, showing them to have skills and be able to do weird things that you were always meant to be able to do, that you can't do now because of the subjugation. And this lady and these ladies and these men refused to bow. Magnificent. I can't remember the name of the movie, but you know what I'm saying? Ben J, yeah, brother. What's going on, beloved? What's happening? What's happening? It's good to see y'all in here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, thank you, baby. Booksgoogle.com. How much is that, Mark, man? How much is it, hon? Huh? Baby, I can't tap on it while I'm on here. I can't pull up a side screen like if I was sideways, I could do it, but I can't. It won't allow me on this one. Let's go ahead and get in the reading because I'll take up forever, okay? It rained. It got real humid, which surprisingly in Florida, I used to love the humidity. Now I'm like, what the heck? Pores are working though. So I brought it down my sleeping as far as 72. I usually like to sleep on the 68 degrees, but 72. And windows and everything's closed up because it is humid. I'm in Arizona, y'all. Like, anywho, I was over there with he just wants to attack every bird. So I put a big old bird feed block, you know, and all the birds is just magnificent, beautiful. Just if I was starving, I would be full off of damn blue jays, pigeons, and doves. And listen here, pheasants. They was all in there, just all together, and yeah. What? But I'm just saying, it was magnificent. I didn't even have my phone; it was on charge, and it was just magnificent. All right, let's get in 100 years of lynching. All right, so let's go ahead and pull this one up. So, New York Herald, May 28, 1922. 100 years of lynching by you know who? Ralph Ginsburg. He wanted to glamorize it for these New Age indoctrinated people they raised from 18 to go out here and murder people and babies and everything else. Oh, they taught them that in secret. There's no cameras, no radios. So that's what they do. But they want to spy on you, see what you're doing in case you counteract. It's funny how they can go around killing people, and yet the same thing was done to us. And our people are staunch and being stupid. Too many punks who call themselves leaders. Look at Mayor Eric Adams, punk. I guarantee they won't take him back to Africa. Anyway, May 28, 1922. Doubt, lynch, victim's guilt. Waco, Texas, May 27. Disorder, which ruled Waco yesterday, and culminated in the burning of the body of Jesse Thomas, the Negro, which we're nobody's Negro, on the public square has subsided, and persons here are wondering whether the guilty man was lynched for the killing of W. Harold Bolton, 25, and the attack on his companion, Miss Maggie Hayes, 26, 4 miles from here, late Thursday. Now, Thomas was seized on the public square by a telegraph operator, while hundreds of citizens and a dozen, isn't that funny, we taught them how to work that? And hundreds of citizens and a dozen posses were scouting the countryside. The Negro was hurried to the home of Miss Hayes, where the woman arose from her bed and screamed, "That's him! Sam Harris, father of Miss Hayes, seized the pistol and killed the Negro." So anyway, said that's him. Sam Harris, father of Miss Hayes, seized the pistol and killed the Negro. Miss Hayes said Thomas told her the Negroes were ready to launch an organized campaign against white women in revenge, and they were. I said May 28, 1922, for the lynching of Negroes. During the night, Waco officers quelled disturbances. A hearse and a coffin, arranged by a Negro undertaker to care for Thomas' bodies, were destroyed. Waco is a strong Ku Klux Klan center and has been the scene of numerous riots. Members of the family of the Negro lynched yesterday or today submitting strong evidence to show that the latest mob victim was at home when Miss Hayes was attacked. The lynching of Thomas was the 10th accomplished by mobs in this section in the last 3 weeks. And I told you I've been looking for that book. I went out there, I got so much stuff on there, and I was looking for the book so I can show you what happened to some of those Ku Klux Klan members they don't want to talk about. And you think the FBI took them down? Brothers was killing them left and right, and even the family members and the innocent. Oh boy, there's a book out there. Look it up, Snoop, see if you can pull it up. Was jacking them boys up. And then they had deacons with guns, right? And World War II vets who was tired of the nonsense. And now you had coming up to the World War II where guys were going and training, getting wounded, coming home, still had that rifle in the foot. And they was like, not today. And and I told you about my family. I don't want to say how many they put away, but there's quite a few of them. Oh, yeah. And the blood runs deep in this one. So let's go ahead in the Negro Project. I drink Burt juice. What is that? Am I ginger tea now? Or beet juice, honey? Oh, beet juice. The free book is 27. Oh, okay. Okay. Vladimir Lenin, Book of Revolution, Democracy, Social. Yeah, but be careful because that's why we got a bunch of idiots running around talking about socialism, communism, and a bunch of idiots that don't know no better. But it's a good read for sure. All right, Blue Story, The Negro Project. Margaret Sanger's diabolical, duplicitous, dangerous, disastrous, deadly plan for black. Whoa, see that quick. I want you to give me the 5 Ds for a black America. The diabolical, duplicitous, dangerous, disastrous, and deadly plan for black America. They got that right. It is ours. If they want to use that term black with their retarded selves. Anyway, most of them are being quiet today. Only the rally ones who did something or the grandpas did think they do. Man, they'll get handed. I thought Ohio where the Klan was marching. Ohio, y'all punks, man. Anyway, let's take it right from where we left off. W.E.B. Du Bois suggested that blacks would be open to intelligent propaganda of any sort. So I see one of these black ones coming talking about W.E.B. Du Bois of any sort, in order to foster, in his words, a more liberal attitude among church-going blacks. This was just the kind of opening eugenicists like Sanger needed to integrate themselves with their unsuspecting targets. The black media joined in as well and carried Sanger's articles on birth control in the pages of such newspapers as the Afro-American and the Chicago Defender. Who would name their books the Chicago Defender and Afro-Americans? It had nothing to do with Africa. That's what the fake Jews do, the Zionists do. Author Walter Terpening was even more blunt in his criticisms than either Johnson or Du Bois. In an article that appeared in the June 1932 issue of the Birth Control Review that was titled God's Children, Chillin, Chillun, I say children. He exoriated poor blacks for siring more children, calling it a pathetic situation. The birth of a colored child, even to parents who can give it adequate support, is pathetic. In view of the unchristian and undemocratic treatment likely to be accorded it at the hands of a predominantly white community, and the denial of choice and propagation to this unfortunate class is nothing less than barbarous. Why don't y'all look that idiot up? Author Walter Terpening. Terpenning. Terpening. Note, if you will, the corruption of the word chillin, that Tarpening used in the title of his article. It is doubtful that such a deliberate attempt at mocking the speech patterns of some black Americans would be tolerated today if it were employed by a white author. We didn't speak this language this way, y'all. Okay? But this was the work of a respected black man. So no one evidently challenged him on his point. It is also revealing to learn that the phrase denial of choice goes back as far as the early 1930s before being picked up by the feminist movement some 40 years later to promote its pro-abortion agenda. See, even the CIA ain't original. From the inception of laws mandating, I don't even know why I said that, mandating forced sterilization beginning in 1907, every time I say it, it's worse on them, so I better not say it no more. Tens of thousands, 1907, tens of thousands of people were victimized by this practice. While the actual number of these operations may never be known, it has been estimated that by the time Oregon had performed the last legally enforced sterilization in the United States in 1981, at least 64,000 people had their lives irreparably damaged by the effects of forced sterilization in the United States, often for the most frivolous and spacious of reasons. California led the way in this dubious category with an estimated 20,108 such procedures. 2 states performed more than 5,000, Virginia with 7,162, and North Carolina with 6,297. Michigan 3,786, Georgia 3,284, and Kansas 3,032 were the states with the next highest number of these operations. New York 42, Idaho 38, and Arizona 30 had performed the fewest. But forced sterilization wasn't the only method that the eugenics employed to curb the number of undesirables. However, they also promoted euthanasia, or mercy killing, to achieve their ends. Euthanasia comes from the Greek word euthanatos, which means good death. It is defined as the act of causing death painlessly to end suffering, which is untrue. Euthanasia has been practiced for centuries all around the world. No, it hasn't. Going back as far as the time of the Roman Emperor, lie of history, Augustus, and was first referred to as a specific medical procedure for Francis Bacon in the 1600s. Rome, the lie, that is nothing but a lie. That whole history is a fraud, just an entire fraud. Although the debate on the ethics in ending life prematurely in this manner has been going on for most of recorded history, the discussion in the United States, no America, began in earnest in the latter stages of the 19th century. Robert Ingersoll and Felix Adler were two of the more prominent early advocates for euthanasia in this country. Ingersoll arguing in 1894 that in the case of devastating diseases, always leading with some bullshit disease, such as terminal cancer, patients should have the right to commit suicide to end their suffering. And Adler, for the same 3 years later, Adler also added that doctors should be able to assist their patients who are suffering from overwhelming pain and taking their own lives. And you know why I had to read that? Because these monkeys that control the narrative on here, who feel some kind of fucking way. Like I care. I don't even know what that word means. But anyway, remember they struck me and gave me 3 months? Because I was talking about Joseph Mengele and this, that, and the other. And the fact, I didn't have to mention the idiot who died not too long ago who was doing it, so-called legally. You know his name. And I likened it onto that. And these idiots wanted to sit there as if, oh, we got the power. You ain't got shit. And that's directly to them. So let's see what kind of little effeminate movement they'll take in position. I am pushing them. And they're probably sitting there, you don't want to push us. Why? Because you got a bunch of dummies murdering children and everything? That's not going to happen over here. That I can guarantee you. I can guarantee you what else is going to happen to you if you push it. already made a deal with them, and they chose not to listen. So fuck 'em. Oh, yes, y'all, I did. As you know, I really didn't want to read this shit to y'all, but I says, well, I might as well make the best of it because some of you actually started waking up. It's the idiots who come and run, foreigners, Hindus, and this, that, and other, who should actually sit down and pay a fucking attention. And other people who are so deep, I said something about the Hebrew movement. Then take your ass over to other people's videos and watch that so you can support your foolish, felonious fucking narrative. Behold a Pale Horse by Mr. William Cooper. I didn't have to show you that bitch's face, okay? Y'all know Margaret Singer and what she looks like. My brother that was assassinated. Section 6. And remember, we're in a Article X, the government arrangements, okay? So let's go ahead and get through this. Section 6. There shall be an official's protective service to guard the president, the vice president, the principal justice, oh, that's how they killed Kennedy, and other officials whose safety may be at hazard. And there shall be a protector appointed by and responsible to a standing committee of the Senate. Protected officials shall be guided by procedures approved by the committee. Nothing about the Constitution. And that's because these government people are not about the Constitution of this land. They're all frauds. The service, at the request of the political overseer, may extend its protection to candidates for office or to other officials if the committee so decides. Because they had murdered everybody they needed to and wanted to put their people in position. And yet they still had a few more to murder. Section 7. Now y'all need to look up when this stuff was created as far as when we get into general provisions and all these amendments and stuff. Section 7. A suitable contingency fund should be made available to the president for purposes defined by law. What law and whose law? We covered that. Section 8. The Senate shall try officers of government. The Senate shall try officers of government other than legislators when such officers are impeached by a 2/3 vote of the House of Representatives for conduct prejudicial to the public interest. If presidents or vice presidents are to be tried, the Senate, as constituted, shall conduct the trial. Do we see that today? Don't you see a bunch of slap-jaw people on TV who shouldn't be saying a goddamn thing? A bunch of slothful some bitches supporting, going after the next president? Something that by law is not supposed to happen because you got these fake-ass Jews running. They don't run our country blindly. You fools fall for this shit. But they run a good little tiny group of fucking Marxists, whatever you want to call it, convert, puppets. Yeah. Anyway, judgment shall extend beyond removal from office and disqualifications for holding further office, but the convicted official shall be liable to further persecution or prosecution. Not persecute. Ain't that what they doing out there to y'all? Anyway. Section 9. Members of legislative houses may be impeached by the Judicial Council. But for trials, it shall be enlarged to 17 by justices of the high courts appointed by the principal justice. If convicted, members shall be expelled and be ineligible for future public office, and they shall also be liable for trial as citizens. Again, members of legislative houses may be impeached by the judicial. I hate that fucking word, judicial. All right, judicial. That's why I say it the way I do. Council. There's no judges here. But for trials, it shall be enlarged to 17 by justices of the high courts. What do you see going on right now? You see mock-up bullshit. Okay? And they shall also be liable for trial as citizens. Don't that mean that we should go get Lori Lightfoot? Don't have to be the president now. Maxine Waters. That motherfucker ex-mayor Bloomberg. His ass should be on trial right now for lobbying to create women's groups to try and remove the Second Amendment, for him being a fake-ass Jew, and the things that he allowed the police to do that was against the law and the Constitution, and the motherfuckers in there right now, like that judge nigga who was sitting up there talking about the Second Amendment don't exist in my town, the bitch should be impeached and removed now, but because you don't have a voice, and these monkeys are prolificers, and they think what's going on in Palestine is going to happen here. Oh, don't worry. The blacks here are subtle. They're dumbed down because we got a bunch of worthless niggas like the baby and all them other motherfuckers hugged up with a bunch of Jews and white parties who getting booty down and sucking Johnsons. Excuse my language. Not. They don't mean a damn thing. That ain't even a percent of who the fuck we are. Nose itch. You got a problem with it? Okay. That's for you boogie eaters. I bet y'all was. Okay. I'm making jokes, y'all. Dark humor. All right, so let's get exposing the exposition. Their law is the antidote. What about Tiffany? What about Tiffany? The bitch is dumb. You're talking about the judge, right? Yeah, she's dumb. It's like I got relatives who are judges, magistrate, fiduciaries, and I got some right now who are young, and they're holding that position, and I've told them personally, you're not a fucking judge. You look pretty fucking dumb. So how much are you making right now? You're in the seven figures yet? Exposing the Expositions, 1851, 1950. The revised 2021 from his 2019, Howdy Mikowski. Excellent goddamn information in this book. It's phenomenal. When Rhoda. Rhoda, Spain? Been there. Rhoda, Greece? Been there. Okay. So, this one right here, remember we were talking about the odd Agassiz statue at Stanford University just after the quake? Remember that picture? But then they want you to believe that happened from an earthquake. And those were all stone, marble, sandstone. And we're talking about horn. You know what's the hardest stone? I think it's that pink stone they try to quarry. That is like the hardest stone in the world. Well, one of them. Anyway. Anyway. This photo above is a statue damaged in an earthquake. And what are the odds a statue could crash through the stone street like this? That's a stone street because you know how we made our roads. Cobble and brick. Red clay. This is very clearly a staged photo. Of course it is. Why? What is the message? The statue is of Louis Agassiz, who was a key professor of biology and geology at Harvard University from just after his arrival to the United States in 1847. So they had to put a fucking statue of him up that quick. Do you see the indoctrination for fake white superiority by these bastards? Until his death in 1873. 43 to 47 to 73? That's 20 what? How many years? Come on, y'all. He was also the founder of the Museum of, listen to this, Comparative Zoology. To push that bullshit, the division and separation. Hey, Nisa Dees, what's going on, sis? And was one of the first scientists to claim that there had been an ice age on Earth. He was most famous for being the staunch resistor to the theories of Darwin's evolution. It was why he lost his credibility with the scientific community just before his death. Science buried him and his ideas just like the way the statue is depicted. A key in the photo is that word zoology. Above the door is clearly centered. Y'all saw that, right? Zoology, right? Can y'all see that? Where they made up the New World bullshit. Centered in the shot. Symbolically, it is saying that Agassiz had been burying his head in the sand. As anyone else also not believing in Darwin or holding, everybody today knows that Darwin is pure bullshit. Religious, anyway, Darwin are holding to religion ideas about this reality. Symbolism personified. So why do this after a city destroying earthquake? Would not everyone have much more to do with basic survival than how to dig out a street to make a symbolic photo? Again, it is hard to know just what was going on in April of 1906. A researcher from stolenhistory.org and that's Menlo 66, located a series of documents from 1906 that can be seen on the, what is that? sfmuseum.net website. That's San Francisco sfmuseum.net website. So you can pull it up. Again, San Francisco museum.net, okay? Excuse me, website. Without going into all the details here, the basic overview is that a series of Army Corps engineers were using dynamite on buildings just after the earthquake. It describes the days April 18th and 19th when the buildings were blown up far enough ahead of the fire to avoid feeding the fire with flying embers and to effectually stop the fire for lack of fuel by cutting a broad open belt ahead of the fire. So this is claiming that buildings were being blown up on purpose to stop the fire from, destroying the buildings? That sounds odd. He then provides the name of all the brave men involved in the operation, and that they should be given special commendation by the military for their service on these days. Is this true, or simply just a very nasty? Excuse me. Is this true, or simply just a very nice explanation to explain the ruins of buildings that could not be explained by simple fire alone? Or were buildings dynamited without there having been a city fire? A second letter found at the SF San Francisco Museum.net site, sent from Benj I. Wheeler of the University of California to President Taft, on July 24, 1906, discussing a different letter sent by UOC Professor H. Moore Steffens, asking to see the complete report by General Greeley. Oh yes, all these are Masons. Wheeler's letter states, Dear Secretary Taft, the enclosed letter implies a request which I deem reasonable and worthy. Professor Steffens is a first-rate historical scholar with all a man of rare tact and good judgment. He is making up the story of the disaster and its relief as a sample of the proper type of historical investigation. You can trust absolutely to his discretion. I'll read it again because I know y'all didn't hear that. Some of you, his head's brains are just pounded away and you can't make headway of nothing. Professor Steffens is a first-rate historical scholar and, withal, a man of rare tact and good judgment. He is making up the story of the disaster and its relief as a sample of the proper type of historical investigation. You can trust absolutely to his discretion and wisdom. Faithfully yours. So what exactly is this letter suggesting regarding Steffens making up the story of the disaster? Does that mean that he is working on documenting the moment-by-moment details for posterity? Or that he is in charge of making it up as in fabricating a false story? It is speculation based on the wording of the document, but I thought it needed to be added to this examination. Boy, they really have done their job, haven't they? These mofos have literally thrown shit into the tornado and got it on every fucking state nearby. You just can't make this shit up. What was that? Telling a story. Yes. Traces. Yes. Rhoda, Arizona. Oh, okay. I wasn't even thinking about over here. Shit. Hey, look, if any of y'all got families in politics, fuck them. I want you to listen to me. Listen. I want you to read my lips. If any of y'all got politicians who are out here fucking up part of the game, fuck them. And I'll see them at the end. You could be there too. In the very end. Fuck what you think and believe. All the motherfuckers I got involved in that shit. Heaven Bearers, The New Age of Deception, Janine Helen. Enough people have met me, they'll tell you, no, Reg, he's a serious motherfucker. You don't have to say it. No, I don't. When I said fuck him, take it literally. Take it personally, too. If your feelings and emotions are all over the fucking place, like I give a fuck. I'm attempting to get you away from all those feelings and emotions so you can see more real. Not the world you consider fucking real. Because it works so good for you. Some people are very comfortable. Some people on the fence. Some people are just peeking through the window and some are peeking through the fucking gate. They're not sure what kind of guns laying out there. Or dog. And some are keeping their ass on the other side of town and learning some new fucking things. At the library that they want to shut the fuck down. Here we go. Now, I'm not going to pick up where I left off at. I'm just going to take it from here. Well, I'm going to start where I didn't read yet. I admit, I didn't expect this transition to be, he pauses briefly, to be so challenging. But I think that we have to keep on this path. There is no one else. That is the blunt, but honest truth. She will come back to us, you know. I know she will. Cassio walks over to Malcolm and places his hand on his shoulder, indicating that as interim ruler, her will have the final say, and that his opinion, no matter how well intended, has no weight here. He is Phoenician, a sub-race, and he cannot possibly know what is best for her. These times won't last, Malcolm. He assures him with his arrogance, the same arrogance that the people reject him for. So we sit and wait and hope that she wakes up. He gets up from his chair, his eyes luminous and filled with fighting spirit, and his tone sarcastic. And if she doesn't, his voice gets louder and his tone angrier, and in one swift movement throws the chair that he was seated on against the wall. The wood smashes against the hard surface and breaks into smaller pieces that scatter across the marble floor. Cassio flinches, right the little punk should, but keeps his composure and presses his fists against the wooden table. Get a grip, Malcolm. Anger won't solve this. And with those last words, Cassio excuses the council and leaves the room. He can feel Malcolm's eyes boring a hole into the back of his head as he walks away, and it makes him quicken his pace, attempting to escape another confrontation. Something needs to change. They both can't be around each other anymore, and everyone is aware of this. Bonnie was the glue that held it all together, and no one knows if she will ever take up that role again. His day was unsuccessful as he expected, and he takes off his coat and he enters the foyer and hangs it up against the wall, only to miss the hook, and he watches it fall into a messy heap of fabric at his feet. Defeated and angry, he leaves it on the floor and heads to the twins' bedroom. Amelia and Emil are fast asleep, snuggled up next to each other, and Emil is holding her hand as he always does. He looks out for her, a true big brother, and Malcolm is once again reminded by the loss of Bonnie, their mother being absent. A breeze rolls in from the big oak window, and he realizes it is slightly open, allowing just enough warmth to escape and keep the room's temperature in balance. But the next wave of air is cooler and has moisture in it, indicating that a storm might be approaching. He watches as the breeze elegantly moves the lace curtain back and forth, soothing him and making his worries feel as light as a feather. And for the first time in a long time, he feels calm and reassured. This moment doesn't last long, and before long, the strange barcode on her neck is on his mind again. It bothers him beyond words, and he just can't shake it. But what is worse is the fact that his gut tells him he should know what it means, or what to do about it. It tells him that only he can figure it out, and he needs to do this soon. It is the key to bringing her back from whatever has a hold on her. More cool air rolls in, and again relaxes his mind. He lets his mind wander back. It does have a way of doing that, the propensity of cool. Anyway, wander back to when she had first moved into this house, remembering how naive and silly she was, a stranger to this big and scary world. She knew none of their ways and only the bare basics of how to be a good wife, a simple yet important rule that she was trained to do. A good wife, he mutters to himself, bothered by this phrase, realizing that there is something amiss with the word good. He shakes the senseless and unimportant thought from his head and leaves the room, walking down the step and the long hall, and heads directly towards his office. He opens a drawer in his office table, the small one in the middle of the table, and pulls out the letter that he wrote to Miss Estes, the matron at the fundling home, requesting another and more suitable wife. He looks at the date and realizes this was over 2 years ago. He scans over it, looking for something, anything that could help him understand the current events, noticing a blocked memory that wants to present itself, but it is hazy and unclear, almost as if deleted for its lack of importance. He glances it over once more, determined to find something that stands out, but he comes up empty, and it merely states his request for a new wife and that it is an urgent matter. Why urgent? He doesn't recall. There is another envelope in the small compartment drawer, and he remembers now that he got a response a few days later with a description of 3 girls that were deemed suitable according to his specific requirements. He drops the letter suddenly as the memory appears in its entirety, and it is no longer hazy or without importance. He chose another girl. He remembers now that her name was Sarah, and she was elegant and beautiful, with long blonde hair and her eyes cunning, almost mysterious. But she was human, and her eyes were a soft brown. He suddenly remembers preferring at the time that she wasn't Tartarian. He never really paid attention to their names or their individual photos because he didn't expect them to mean much to him, and he was bitterly arrogant at the time. The revelation knocks the wind out of him, and he staggers to his chair, clutching onto it to regain his balance. I didn't choose Bonnie, so who did? He asked himself out of loud. But he did say it like, I didn't choose Bonnie, so who did? It's not an exclamation mark. He asked himself out loud, and the lack of answer is deafening. Damn, this is getting good. Next, we'll be getting to chapter 2. No, I ain't telling you. I'll start, and we're going to read quite a bit of it. Oh, man. Oh, man. What happened to Bonnie? So I bet y'all were thinking like, wait a minute. All right, we got a new age of deception. Bonnie is Malcolm. Who's going to betray who? Well, I guess you're going to have to wait and find out. Oh, you thought I was going to say something? No, I'm not like Timonius. I won't sit here and spoil the movie for you. Boy, if y'all don't know how to control an actor, boy, he'll tell you the whole movie before it even get done. I love them kinds of. I'm glad you're reading this, Red. I never would. Yes. And for the better of all mankind and mammals and marsupials alike. That's exactly. Yes, brother. The Olmec tribe, you're damn right. All of it. Never, it's all of them. I'm trying to stop the cesspools. Exactly. I mean, not all family is tribe, and I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Say it with your chest, as loud as I fucking can. Supers can't lie straight. They damn sure can't, and it doesn't matter who it is. And some individuals have that same fucking mentality, and it's sickening. Very saddening. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I appreciate you guys. All right? Nothing but respect, as always. All right? We made it right to an hour with some good music in the beginning. Me blurting out a few blah-blahs and comicals. And you remember, ladies and brothers. And I hope y'all was looking up God Killer, God whatever. There's a whole plethora. Japanese anime, even American satirical books, even from Romania and Russia. Look into it. And everything they've done is a lie. Everything. And you see how they've grafted in the children, who they teach in them schools, they hate and all that. Who you think was getting on them buses and blowing them all up? You think MK Ultra and controlling the mind and the way people think and how they mitigate things is something new? Oh, y'all really haven't been paying attention to the world you live in, have you? Anyway, I just wanted to share that. I appreciate you guys taking the time. I'm going to go in here and make me some pasta. I know, pasta, sugar. It's semolina, straight semolina semolina with a little bull Durham wheat. The way my grandma used to, when we used to make pasta. We used to make like dumplings of pasta. We didn't use flour. That's right. So, see y'all tomorrow.